it goes to 9-all in the 5th, right?
That's right. It'll be the last two-serve combination in the match. Liam Pichford, 29 years old, 9 years older than that of his 20-year-old opponent. I'll tell you more about him later. It's interesting, thinking back. It's their first meeting. What? It's their first meeting. Time for some funk music right now to celebrate. I think the world has wanted to know. I know, it's tough not to bob your head right now.
Living it.
Commentator's booth right now, like the VIP section at a club. 8 years a pro. Truls, 14 on the side. Liam Pichford. Wow. This is one of those matchups that table tennis fans around the world would say, I'd love to see these two battle. I wonder how that would go. Now, there are going to be a lot of those over the next 8 days, today included, of course. We're on day 2 of the World Team Championships. But with so many players here, over 250 of the best players from around the world, this is one of those matchups. Like if it were a video game, you're like, I choose Liam Pichford. You're like, oh yeah, I choose Truls moregard.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just,
okay.
Just any scenario where you can see these two players, you want to see it.
This is the one to watch. A fight for survival for England right now. Pitch looking to extend it to a 5th and deciding game and match. I should say match in the overall team tie, but Truls moregard starting strong so far.
If there's ever a table tennis video game released, Adam, let's be these two if we can do that.
Sure. Ooh, behind the table. Pitch on the chase is able to get a big backhand in from behind.
Definitely something I've seen a lot of Swedish players do. They sometimes rush the opponent by coming to the table straight after a point to serve straight away.
Yeah, I was just going to say the timing was very quick from Truls moregard on the serves. How many times do you have to get the ball back on the table? Truls moregard is there shot after shot. I mean, Pitch played it well. A few of these look like clear winners. Man, this is what you hope for in any match. Two players that can hit winners and players that can return the winners.
Both players are going to have to play at a higher level than what they did in their last matches. I think that's for sure, and they're going to bring the best out of each other.
Which is quite a tall order after a player who beat Anton Schellberg 3-1.
Yeah.
To play much better than that is not going to be easy. Or a player that beat Sam Walker 3-0. So, I mean, they've both played quite well, but they will bring each other's levels up. Gets him way behind the table, pressure on top of the bounce. It's the speedy play and the timing here with the deception from Truls moregard. Right back down the line, a beautiful shot. Apologies, by the way. It was 3-1 for Truls moregard over Sam Walker. Wouldn't want to take that away from Sam. So both of them have lost the game to strong opponents. Ooh, back edge of the table, a little fortune here for Truls.
What shots are you expecting to see? Or shall I rephrase the question? If you were Pichford and Truls, what shots would you be looking to remove from your opponent?
Well, pick one.
Okay. I'd say the backhand of Liam Pichford down the line, very strong. So Truls may want to try and tie him up close to the net to remove that.
Well, I just meant pick one player for me to answer that question.
Oh, okay. Let's go with Truls first, shall we?
You mean if I were Truls, what would I remove from Pitch?
Yeah.
Backhand flick, step around forehand. Yeah. Those are the main things, I think. Try to keep him behind the table by controlling the short game.
Yeah.
I mean, surprise factor is so important. If the players at this level have an idea of what's coming, they're prepared. It's funny, Truls, you know, we haven't talked about a strawberry or the different uses of side spin from inside the table. Mostly because they haven't come up too much yet, but here, Liam Pichford doing an excellent job of seizing the space at the back of the table. little bit of a chase here. From this position, he's very, I'd say, at risk.
Yeah.
Truls knows that he has a good opportunity there, having Pitch just played a backhand from wide on the forehand side.
He looked vulnerable, Pichford there.
Yes. Little reminder for context, you might have seen the little flag on screen that Sweden is leading 2-1 in the overall team tie, which means if Truls moregard takes this match, it is over. Sweden has beaten England. Still the round robin phases, but only 2 can advance from each group. And then after that, there are lucky losers. So only 2 are guaranteed a place in the round of 16, the knockout phases. The knockout phase, I guess, just one phase.
Right now, that's looking like either Sweden or Poland, but of course that can change with the remaining matches.
1 point between them now. Pitch doing everything he can to make the most of this serve. Tighten up the scoreboard. Just too deep. Not enough table for that lob. And it is 2 game points for Truls moregard. The wrist in slow motion.
2 flatter backhands. We know Truls moregard can come in with Muhammad Ali punches. No straight knockout that time, but it makes Pichford more wary and passive, and then he goes more aggressive. Moregard.
Let's.
It's nice.
Typically been the response from Truls. Cracking backhand to follow up after the net ball. Little apology there, acknowledge of fortune, but 11-8, Truls moregard takes the first game. It's going to be an uphill battle from here on out. Liam Pichford, a lot of work to do to send this to a deciding 5th match. So there it is, 11-8. Confirmation of score on screen, just the first in what could be a 5-gamer. The first player to win 3 games wins the match.
Långt på en boll som hade kunnat göra något bättre på, bara för att jag hade sen fick öppna raka lite för enkelt. Så kommer lite mer naturligt, sen nu visar lite enkelt.
Ja, men det är bra. Tackling mot mitten är alltid bra liksom.
Ja.
Sen är det bra. Och sen tittar du om de hoppar ut någon så jobbar du på det. Ja, men det är bra. Det är jättebra. Bara kör vidare. Ja,
Second game. Sweden to serve. Level.
Game number 2, Truls moregard to start off. He's got the lead and the serves now. Quick turn and painting the corners, the absolute corners. There are no missed marks on that table now.
He's one of those players, Truls moregard. It's almost artistic the way he plays. The table is his canvas.
No almost about it for me. Simply beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Really just seems so free and creative when he plays. Changes his mind for that first push. Is able to touch it softly. Delicate hands. But human after all. Liam Pichford on the scoreboard now. Still the very early parts of game number 2. I mean, and the serve, it looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was deep on the table. Truls moregard has no hesitation in turning that corner and hits an absolute dismissive forehand out of reach.
It's one of the most impressive things about Truls moregard. His clarity of thought. There's no indecisiveness. It's like he thinks it and he does it. It's like the same thing.
Right, and I feel like at this level of play, that's one of the key ingredients. You see it with all the best players. If they take too much time hesitating, they don't have time to prepare a quality shot. Really just looking unstoppable the way he's playing right now. It feels like not long ago we saw him at the World Championships after being down 0-3 against Lim Jong-hoon. Just flipped the switch and never looked back. He was unstoppable.
Could have been so different because he saved a match point against Francisco with an edge ball. Crazy.
Good spin on this one. Pichford adding some side spin to his forehand. I'd like to thank England and the weather of England for Liam Pichford. The rainy days where he decided to choose table tennis instead of tennis. His friends at lunch were like, you know what? We know you like tennis, but it's raining today. Why don't you come in and play with us? And can you imagine being those friends now? You're like, hey, it's been 20 years or so, and you're doing all right with that sport we dragged you into.
And Liam's like, yeah, I may have beaten the greatest player to ever live at some point in my career, yeah.
But can you write me a tardy pass for class? 4, serving 6, pitch within 2. Takes a lot of shots. Again, the variation in the spin, Truls from those punches you talked about to the inside out. I mean, it just seems like there's nothing he can't do.
Right.
Let's.
Just getting on the front foot. The initiative is really, really brilliant.
Smart play. You could feel Truls starting to move in, and I think Pitch had a sense of that as well and said, go wide. It's tough to go side to side while you're moving in.
Reacted well to the change of pace there from Truls as well. He just came up a bit more in the block to slow it down.
Right, I think that was a good idea in terms of capitalizing on an opportunity. Pitch recognizing that he had something left a little bit loose. Able to comfortably block a lot of those very powerful backhands.
Pitchford won't be comfortable playing the same swift, smooth, wristy backhands against the punch. Different kind of speed variant to deal with, and spin especially. There's not as much spin on that.
I'd love to see what's on the table there. I imagine it has wings.
Even though you think of Liam Pichford as a backhand dominant player and that's his standout strength, I feel like in this particular matchup stylistically against Moregard, he needs to try and dominate more with his forehand.
Three points in front, second serve here. Unbelievable, that commitment. He's a full step outside of the table on the backhand side and gets a clean forehand winner.
He's playing like he's going to die tomorrow, but looks so sort of stable facially.
Top of the net. The replay of that backhand. I mean, you can only imagine. Took his chances there. So now 4 game points for Truls moregard to take a 2-0 lead. Did you see how loose his hand? We know the bottom 3 fingers on the hand that holds the racket normally loosen up for wrist action.
Yeah, I like that serve of Truls moregard. It's almost like he's showing Pichford how to do the serve. It's almost like demonstrative.
The weird thing is the hand that holds the racket, his pointer finger.
Not kicking the ball. Not kicking the ball. You fought not kicking the ball.
Kicking the balls.
I think what she's trying to say is please don't kick the ball.
I didn't see actually where he did kick it. Or sometimes you see players go back, kick it back to the barrier if there's ball boys and ball girls in the corners, but not here.
Short side of the table, he brushes off the conversation with the umpire, comes right back to business, 11-7. Watch this follow-up, a Luke Woliong-like opening, and short side of the table for a Cho and the bench on their feet. This is clutch. This is for Sweden to win the team tie. So, time to get funky for Liam Pichford. Let's see, 8-7, not enough yet. 2-0, Truls moregard leads, just 1 game away from lunchtime for Sweden. Stay right here, game 3, right after this.
Literally a bounce of my head.
When you play back on the ball, like you said to me,
Yeah.
maybe like a bit earlier or something, or wait a bit more.
Little look at the training hall here. A lot of players, over 250 athletes from around the world. representing. We've got the Puerto Rican team there from the hills of Utuado in Puerto Rico. Will be battling against Team China. Well, Malong Fanjendong right there on the table with Wang Chuqin, Dato in the background. Qin Zhijian watching closely. We've already gotten started here. Nope. Yep. They are fast. A lot to look at the World Championships. So much entertainment here. The table tennis continues.
Just still amazing me. Hasn't really still sunk in fully, but just how quickly Truls moregard has come from this vice world junior champion. Sort of like sitting at 5th or 6th position, even a little bit lower than Jon Persson, who's still an incredible player, to becoming their leading man in such a short space of time.
Let's.
Right, the Swedish team runs fairly deep with the new volatile world ranking system, quick climbing, more variation and change.
Chih-Yuan.
So pitch off to a great start here. 75% of the first 4 points. He's gonna have to keep up this sort of ratio to continue through. Now here's a question for you, Fraser. It seems like he's playing with more risk. What changes would you expect to see from pitch considering the scoreline in the first 2 games?
Yeah, definitely more risk, as you say. I'll just take the words out of your mouth. I know it's an easy answer for me to do, but yeah. You can see the difference in Pichford's backhand. Sometimes it's a little bit more tentative. He needs to give it a bit more conviction. And as I said, try and dominate more with the forehand. I think Pichford really needs to keep things varied with the serve too. Maybe try some reverse pendulums. Shot into the forehand of Moregard. See if he can get a third ball attack with the forehand.
Goodbye.
Good deception there, short side of the table, underspin on the pendulum serve.
5-3.
And there we see that reverse pendulum into the forehand paying off. A little bit bouncy, but it was in an area where Truls couldn't come over the table and get around it enough. And Pichford would hope to see this game out, although there's still quite a fair bit to go. Has to be bowled on the receive here.
Good length though, Truls moregard keeping it close to that back edge. The decisiveness we talked about that we saw from Truls moregard, we saw here from pitch as well, but it wasn't an easy ball to play. Again, quality length on the serve.
Good work, in and out footwork, nice there from Lim.
7-5.
Remember, pitch fighting for England's survival here. England down 1-2. Now that is where the finger breaker comes into play. Half long. We hadn't seen that too much where he had guessed or committed to a shot, not been able to take it.
Stepped in slightly too prematurely there, Liam, on the third ball. Was pushed along and he'd already made his mind up on coming into this ball, and Truls surprised him with a long push.
That last one, it looked like he was going to go to the deep corner. Plays it right back into the middle of pitch. So many things unusual about Truls' game, from grip to the rotation, just the variety of shots that he pulls out and the moments that he does. He's so tough to predict. Good rotation here. Pitch protects himself with heavy underspin in the push, something that'll force Truls to have to lift and slow down a little more. As you can see, he doesn't love to do that. He's okay with it. He's just not thrilled about missing the point, obviously. And now pitch with 3 game points. This could go the distance, but it's just going to have to be every point for pitch. This would be his first game on the scoreboard. He'd still be down overall in this match. And that is it. Business in game number 3 has been taken care of. 11-7, Liam Pichford on the scoreboard now. So more pressure on Truls moregard, the vice champion. Man, good times to be alive. Consider yourself lucky to be watching this. The first ever battle between Truls moregard and Liam Pichford. 2 on the Chinese wall to beware of, to be studied. 11-7, Liam Pichford. Quite a statement there in the third. Not absolute domination, but a convincing win nonetheless.
I'm seeing him float there, but I'm not expecting him to flick sometimes. I'm like, I do.
He doesn't flick on his forehand. On his backhand, sometimes
but
he
like,
flicks that.
yeah, but it's quite fast.
Yeah,
so it's weird.
It is. It's a weird one. Just trying to stay on it, and maybe even that one sometimes.
I think the ball's just bouncing up. Yeah, it seems to.
Don't stay up with the ball.
It's pretty cool to be part of the conversation with Team England. Hearing everything. He said he doesn't flick with his forehand, meaning he doesn't attack with his forehand over the table on the serve receive. Of course, Truls moregard can, but it's been happening much less. His backhand has been more the aggressive shot inside the table. Not the first time we've seen the underspin on the pendulum serve work out to favor Truls. See the bench is very actively involved. Liam Pichford communicating with his teammates between points. Interestingly enough, in terms of coaches, the British boys not having a coach here for this event. In 2016, their coach actually jumped into play. Alan Cookie.
Very good player in his heyday. That sort of Voldner generation, Alan Cook. An incredible lobber.
Truls moregard up by 1 point, looking to close this out. Very fearless opening, strong full stroke from the backhand.
Frustration there from Liam. He knows he can give Truls moregard a slightly stronger receive than that. Credit to moregard though.
2-5.
Here's the timeout on England's side. A bit of a run of points, 3 down. This is a good length, a good distance to call a timeout in general. That fine balance of, can I come back? Yes, it's starting to get out of hand, but it's not fully out.
Very long, sir. It's rushing.
I'm holding.
Det är boll, satsa med back.
Well, tough to hear anything on the English side. Sounded a little bit like a drive-through window combined with Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Did you hear anything?
No, it was hard to tell, to be honest, Adam.
All right, well, let's see pitch. I think, again, getting decisive on his opening. Every shot has to be so intentional.
Oh, how wide can you get a ball?
I mean, this ball, you know, we've got a lot of wingspan on Pitch's side. Has a chance to go around the net there. Doesn't miss this shot by a lot. Watch him.
Whoa, closes the wrist, bends around the ball.
Great use of side spin from Moregard.
Still spirited here, Liam Pichford.
We've talked about emotions and how they affect different players. Both of these players wearing their heart on their sleeve, very expressive. Good coverage of the middle. Moves the upper body, of course, starting with the feet to create the space. But watch him turn to play this forehand.
That's ever so clutch, that is.
Yeah, moves that leg back just to create some space for the backswing. Tomahawk chop block, a little bit of forehand side spin mid-rally. Pitch reads it perfectly and comes down hard on top.
He'll be happy that chop block was high. Still had to add an element of spin to it though, even though it was a high ball.
Yeah, still need that top spin for security, but a good read, and we got a timeout on the Moregard side.
Okay. Du är med, du ska jobba. Det är han som öppnar, så våga gärna till nämn, det är du som ska attackera efter server, även när jag är ute. Spela det, okej? På läget så hitta mitten och sen kan du välja höger. Okej? Ja.
So just a few quick words. Sometimes it's a brief message, a brief reminder, but a very clear point of focus that the coach has to offer. Sometimes it's tactical, sometimes it's just something to change the mood a little bit, affect the confidence of your player. Oh, these points! What more can you ask for? Chases, high rackets, counters, chop blocks, everything here. On the run, pitch comes back from Truls' timeout. Look at the hook on that. And very difficult to control. The lion tattooed on his left arm roars from within.
It's not even as though Truls moregard's frozen in the lead here. Seeing the finish line too early. Liam has actually fought back and earned his points.
It's easy for people to think about results for a moment. It's tough not to ignore them. Oh, he said there was a late signal. Umpire put her arm up for the point. Good pressure down the line.
6-8.
Moregard really just springing into this now. A bit of momentum, 2 points away from closing this out in favor of Sweden. Safe spin shots, driving it deep. Despite the flatter shots of Truls coming back, pitch being very focused on the highest percentage. And nice side spin on that last one, you can see as well.
Windscreen wiper.
You see Truls? Did he like the way he finished that point? Body language, so. Yeah, seemed questionable. Maybe he didn't. I'm sure that'll be part of the closing package after the match.
Ooh, did it touch? Oh no, that was interesting. I think Truls is saying...
That's...
Awesome. I say that because it could have been very controversial in that moment. Liam Pichford sort of said it in a way that was like, right? Yeah, right, just checking. The whole Swedish bench, it seemed like, was saying, was that a let? Maybe it was a let. Very fair play from the Swedes. Truls included, of course, 3 match points and tie points. And that is it. Truls moregard takes it home. Herculean style strength out here, and the pose would not be forgotten in a moment like this. The tie goes to Sweden, 3 matches to 1 over the British boys. Team England, Truls moregard, too strong in the end. A good fight all around. Christian Karlsson delivering a point for the Swedes as well. And Anton Kjellberg with the strong fight, but pitch got the best of him in the second match. Well, it was a thrill. It didn't come down to the very wire, but this is the answer, at least for here today.